What's up guys, today we're doing I-4, so let's get started. Just a reminder that you can use 2 free requests per video. You should use them a lot. Anyways, I-4 goes from coast to coast in Florida, and it is about 132 miles long. And yeah, we start off of I-275 going eastbound, and it is signed for Ocala. Should be Atlanta or Tallahassee to be honest, but whatever. We are signed for Orlando. Pass over a nice little interchange in Florida, 585. Then we meet Florida 618, which is signed for Brandon. And this picture is taken by the Dirt Hawk, so thank you for that. And we are still signed for Orlando. Then we meet US 41, and it's also for the Dirt Hawk, so thank you for that as well. And there's one more. Then we meet US 301 and US 92. And for the third time, thank you, Dirt Hawk. I appreciate it. Also, these routes are signed for Riverview and Zephyr Hills. I would have put Bradenton on there for US 301 since it's a very major city, but you know what, whatever. Or even Lakeland, one of those two would have worked. We meet I-75 next, and I'm going to say the same thing for I-275. Ocala's okay, but Atlanta or Tallahassee should be there. And for Naples, I see why they can sign Naples. It's the last stop for the Everglades, and it's like a 100-mile gap, I think. But it would be better as a secondary, and just Miami being there for later. Here we get mileage sign for Ventush Road, Lakeland, and Orlando. I don't know why the first line is necessary, to be honest. I guess it's fine though. We meet US 98 and it heads to Lakeland. Here we meet US 27, which is signed for Haines City and Davenport. We meet US 192 and it's signed for Kissimmee. And is that a Disney World park? As we enter the Orlando area, we meet Florida 528. It goes to the International Airport, and it also goes to Cape Canaveral, which is home to some of Disney's cruise ships. So wait, even more Disney! We meet the Florida Turnpike, which is signed for Miami and Ocala. I feel like that lineup there was necessary, honestly, so... Next, as we meet US 17, 92, 441, which is signed for the Orange Blossom Trail. We get signed for Daytona Beach, which is pretty good. Before we leave Orlando, we meet Florida 50. Next we meet US 17, 92 again, they're signed for Salmon. Next as we enter the Daytona Beach area, we meet US 92 again. It's their adopted highway by the way, so. I-4 ends at I-95 and it's time for Miami and Jacksonville. And we will continue on the Florida 400, aka our signed route. It's kind of an extension here and now it's starting to get signed, so yeah. It is signed for South Daytona. Here we can see an end I-4 shield and begin Florida 400 shield. Really, it has already begun with I-4 back in Tampa, but signage starts here, so I guess that makes sense. And we also get the sign here for the International Airport and the International Speedway on the left. Up ahead we meet Florida 5A, which is signed for Bethune, a museum, and Cookman University. Then we for real end at US 1. Going westbound, we get signed for I-4 and I-95. US 1. We meet Florida 5A again. Right after we meet County Route 4009, we see signs for I-95 and I-4. I-4 is signed for DeLand and Orlando, which is fine, and I-95 is signed for Miami and Jacksonville. So Florida 400 technically ends, but it's really the signage that ends, by the way. I'm gonna say that again. But yeah, let's continue on to I-4. We meet Florida 44, which is signed for New Smyrna Beach, and it's also going to DeLand. We meet US 17, US 92, and they are signed for Sanford. We begin to enter Orlando and meet Florida 50. Nice view of the skyline in the background there, and a little lake on the right. Next we meet US 17, US 92, and US 441. We meet the Florida Turnpike, and we are now signed for Tampa as we pass it. Then we pass by Florida 528. Then we meet US 192, which has Kissimmee and Magic Kingdom. I'm not even going to mention Disney. We meet US 27 as it crosses past with us, and it is signed for Hayden City and Davenport. Then we meet US 98, which is signed for Lakeland and Dade City. How come Dade City was on the other side? Then we meet I-75, which is signed for Ocala and Naples. Then we meet US 92 and US 301. And now we even get more pictures from the Zerpog, and we meet US 41, which is 50th Street and Columbus Drive. We meet Florida 618 again, and it is signed for Tampa Bay and the Port. Then we get a current sign here of I-4 ending. And then we end at I-275. What a route. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Thanks to Derpov for sending me those photos. Really appreciate that. And also, SC14 and SC34 will be coming up really soon, so stay tuned and see ya.